All right. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Good morning, everyone. Well, morning for me. I know that as we're joining here today, place in the comments as we're speaking to my guests today. Be sure to put the comments in the chat, and we will try to answer all those questions that are popping in, coming in as you're joining today. If you guys want to put where you're joining from, I'd love to hear what part of the world you're sitting in today and who's joining us. Love to give those shout outs to all of you out there today. But happy Saturday. I have another great session here today. I have another great guest with us. So buckle up. This is going to be a great ride of information for you guys today, this morning. And I am excited. I have today, my special guest is, I consider him the hardest working agent in Hollywood. That's my title I've given him. So I have not met anybody that's a harder working agent than my guest today, but you guys have a special treat here. We are going to solve all the world's problems on our stream today. So I hope you guys are excited about that. But without any more delay, let me go ahead and introduce my guest here or bring him in. Let's see here. He is joining us here. There he is. Welcome, Mr. Philip Marcus. How are you doing today?
Hey there. For everyone, I'm fighting a cold. My throat's really sore and scratchy, so if I'm coughing, don't panic. I'm okay, but it's still fighting a cold.
See,
Otherwise,
right there,
I'm good. I'm doing well.
Right there, he's already proven that he's the hardest working agent. He's fighting through his deathbed to be with us today. So we appreciate it. So you're joining us from Los Angeles. Is that where you're at?
Yeah,
today?
so we're in Studio City, which is part of Los Angeles, really close to Universal Studios. And we have an office in New York City and Manhattan as well.
Nice, but you're based in LA, obviously.
Up in LA, correct.
And why don't you introduce yourself to everyone? Let them know who you are, what you do, who you work with, and kind of some of your background.
Yeah. So my name is Philip Marcus. I'm the director of the Young People's Department at Clear Talent Group. We're a full-service agency. My department is called Young People because we go ages 3 to early 20s. It's not a date of birth issue. It's how old you're playing. So I do have some actors that are like 28, 29, 30 that can't walk into a bar because they don't look 21. They literally look like they're 17, 18, 19. When the time comes where everyone's like, look, you're not fooling anyone anymore. You look like a lawyer, a doctor, a school teacher, a mom. Then we have adult departments for everything. But in our department, we're covering pretty much everything acting, TV shows, movies, commercials, voiceover, some theater, some music videos, some print, some foreign dubbing. You know, Netflix buys a lot of foreign language shows, dubs them into English. Pretty much the whole gambit of acting.
Nice. And so you've been doing this for a while. So you're well.
It was a while. I said this September will be 28 years. Literally started September 1997, and the agency I'm at now, I've been with them 15 years since April 2010.
That's amazing. So 15 years strong. I love it. With the same agency.
Same agency, yep. Watching little kids grow up and literally go to college graduations and going to weddings, going to bar mitzvahs and quinceaneras and sweet 16s. Literally watch people grow up. It's wild.
So all your clients that started off with you as a young age, then they end up getting married, and you're at their weddings.
Yeah. I've been to plenty of weddings. It's wild. Especially if you knew them when they were much younger, like preteen. 8, 9, 10 years old, and now they're like 25, 30. Like, wow.
That's awesome. So you watch them grow up, and of course,
grow up, yeah.
Work with them and throughout the whole process.
Or former clients who grew up who I haven't seen in years, watching a TV show, and all of a sudden here comes the FBI agent. I'm like, that 40-year-old guy, I repped him years ago. And like the next hour, I'll reach out to him and go, it's been a while, but I saw you on, FBI last night, and fantastic. You did a great job. And they're freaked out. Like, you remember me? I'm like, of course I remember you.
Speaking of which, what types of shows or movies do you enjoy when you're off work?
Oh boy, off work. I'm a huge I'm a huge James Bond fan. Big, like my whole life since a little kid, I got obsessed with it. So personally, I'm a Bond nut. But I love movies. I mean, I'm a big movie fan in general. I can watch horror films. I can watch romantic comedies. I can watch serious biographies and dramas. I can watch science fiction. I can watch Marvel superheroes. The whole gambit. I'm just a movie buff. I love movies.
Nice. And so which James Bond is the best Bond?
Well, you're killing me.
I told you we were going to solve all
All
the
right.
world's problems.
Casino Royale is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant movie.
Right.
Hands down, I think everyone tends to agree. But because of the way I was introduced to Bond, I was like 7 years old when I saw The Spy Who Loved Me in the movie theater. So that movie has such a connection to me that's probably my favorite.
Okay. Got it. Love it. So take you back to the first. Was that one of your first movie experiences that you remember in the theater, or?
No, it's crazy. Yeah, I'll show you. Dun 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 dun. I grew up on Long Island, and actually, my dad and I belonged to a fishing club. Like once a month, we would go out to Montauk, which is the very end of Long Island, and deep sea fishing. And my dad thought Jaws was going to be like an adventure movie, not a horror movie. So he thought it was a good idea to take a 5-year-old to it. And anyone who's ever seen Jaws, within the first 30 seconds, this isn't an adventure movie. This is a horror movie. And somehow we stayed for the whole movie. Like, there's a lot of graphic stuff going on there for a 5-year-old. The movie freaked me out. But on the other hand, all these years later, I love sharks. Like, I'll swim with sharks. I'll scuba dive. I'll snorkel. Shark Week starts this Sunday night on Discovery Channel.
It does,
I'm
yeah.
very, very into sharks because of Jaws. So go figure.
Nice. I love it.
That was one of the first movies I ever saw in the theater.
So were you afraid of water for a little bit after that movie?
Oh, yeah. The shark was in the bathtub. The shark was in the sink brushing my teeth. The shark's going to get, lying in bed, the shark's going to get me. It messed me up for a couple of weeks. I was generally scared.
Right.
I do remember that. I even remember being scared of Jaws. The shark's coming to get me everywhere. But as the years have gone by, I've come to appreciate more as what a brilliant film.
Yeah.
Writing. For actors, for writers, for directors, this is a film to study. This is one of these films that, like, all the planets lined up. It is a perfect film. And some of it's perfect because of accidents. There are things Spielberg wanted to do that he just couldn't do. So it's like, all right, I got to be creative. I can't do this, so let me try doing this. And his plan B turned out to be the most brilliant thing of all. Don't show the shark. Let the music tell you the shark's coming. Keep that shark a secret as long as you can. Let people know there's something under the water that's come to get you, but don't show it as long as you can. And when you finally reveal it, it's like one of those memorable scenes that they show in clip shows forever. You're going to need a bigger boat, right? The shark pops up, Roy Scheider freaks out. It's just a brilliant movie. It's something you could really study.
I don't recall, but wasn't there something wrong on set that they couldn't get the shark to perform the way they wanted to?
Yeah,
so
well, they tested the shark, the mechanical shark. They tested it in water tanks at like Universal, and in the water tanks, as in with clear water, everything was fine. And then they shipped it off to Martha's Vineyard, plopped it in the ocean, and the salt water started to corrode it, and the shark just went blip, 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 blip. And they had, the production schedule was supposed to be like 65, 70 days. It went 100 days above that.
Wow.
The overshoots were longer than the entire original scheduled shoot. Spielberg was 100% convinced this is the movie that's going to destroy my career. I'm not going to have a career. This movie is going to bomb because I can't finish making this movie. We don't have a shark. The whole movie is about a shark. If you don't have a shark, but John Williams like, wait a minute, I have an idea. Let's use music. Use music to inform the audience. Here comes the shark. Use point of view, like the camera is the point of view of the shark swimming. So you see feet dangling in the water. Tease them. Don't show them until we actually can. And darn it is, it totally pays off. It works, Yeah. You have great actors. You have great character development. You have a really well-written script. On paper, you think to yourself, oh, shark killing people. Okay, whatever, dialogue, you don't think of it as an acting film. There's some great acting moments in that film where actors get to chew up the scenery. There's a classic monologue in there that Robert Shaw gets to do that people will quote it, 50 years on, they'll do it in acting classes. The USS Indianapolis monologue. It's a brilliant, brilliant monologue. You wouldn't expect that from what's basically a monster movie.
Right.
And then everyone that tried to imitate after Jaws, everybody wanted, killer piranha, killer bear, killer whale, everyone had to have their animal killing people movie. nothing comes even close. Not even close to what Jaws accomplished.
Well, Sharks on a Plane, wasn't that? I mean, I thought that was a good second to Jaws.
Yes, Snakes on a Plane with Samuel Jackson. Yeah, I mean, everyone tried. There was tons and tons. I mean, an octopus
Sharknado.
movie, Sharknado. I mean, everybody had to do their animal attacking people, and there isn't one out there that's even close to how the quality of what Jaws was. I don't.
Right.
I think all the actors in Spielberg, when the movie was finished, still were not sure what they had. I think they were still genuinely like, is this going to work? Are people going to watch this? And it literally created the word summer blockbuster. Like, it didn't exist before this movie came out.
Really?
This is the first legit summer blockbuster film. First film to cross $100 million, which at the time, 1975, it's a lot of money,
Right.
I mean, that'd be about 400, maybe $500 million at U.S. box office today, which would be super impressive.
So homework assignment for everybody out there today is to go watch Jaws.
Go watch Jaws and study it. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, there are several movies that are out there that are similar to that, where actors can study the movie itself.
Mm-hmm.
What would some of those other movies that in your mind be?
A Few Good Men, great film as far as, I mean, story wise not, but acting. You get some, not just one but several characters that have some really good monologues, good acting moments, a good film just to study and embrace. Godfather's another brilliant film. I mean, and you don't have to care about the mafia to still watch the film and appreciate the acting, appreciate the story, appreciate the messages they're trying to put out there. What else is really good? Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump's another one. What a brilliant acting! The choices that he made. Tom Hanks. I mean, no one knew on paper. It says Forrest Gump is slow-witted or doesn't have a high IQ. What are you going to do with that? I mean, you can do all kinds of things. He decided to come up with mannerisms. It wasn't in the script. I don't even know if the director was telling him. I think Tom Hanks created that Forrest Gump look. Whatever you want to describe, the mannerisms, the way his speeches, his vocabulary. He just came up with creative choices. And, casting directors and directors, well, they're always looking for that. They don't, if the character is supposed to be happy, then of course they want you to be happy. Don't decide, I'm going to play it angry. That doesn't fit. But what little niche little thing, what are you going to bring to it that makes you stand out from everyone else? Everyone else is doing the same thing, it's the same line of dialogue. It could be a 30-second commercial with 3 lines of dialogue, and it's still, in a sense, a mini movie. It's a 30-second movie. Yes, you're selling the product. I love Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. What are you adding to it that's just a little different, a little that's specifically you and not just the character? What are you adding to it? I tell everyone, even kids and adults as well, and then people have gotten back to me afterwards going, that was some great advice. That's a good idea. We all think, TV and film, we use our eyes, right? We're watching, we're listening. That's it, right? You're not touching the screen, right? You're not licking it. You don't taste the movie screen. You're not sniffing it. There's no other senses, the sight, the sound. So advice for anyone, whether you're 6 or 60, find a sitcom that you've seen before. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. It could be something new, something old, but something that you've seen at least once or twice. You're sort of familiar with what's going on. Watch a half-hour sitcom on mute. Right? Literally, it's a silent movie. Study. Half-hour study. What are they doing with their faces? Can you tell they're happy or sad or lonely or angry? What's going on here? What's with their body language? Nobody's talking like this, if their arms stiff or their arms, locked in like this, right? Why do they rub their chin? Why do they scratch their head? Why do they rub, why are they doing what they're doing? Study body movement, study facial expressions. Go back now, watch that same half-hour sitcom. This time, crank the volume up, put on a blindfold. Nothing to say, darkness. It's like a podcast. Listen. A half hour is a long time when you realize it. Listen to the actors. Listen to their speech patterns. Is their speech clear? Do you understand the words, the syllables, every word? Why are they talking loud like this? Why are they talking soft like this? Why does this character pause at certain places? What's the intent? It's not just a random thing. Everything has intent. There's a reason why they took a long pause or a short pause. There's a reason why they may have gone and then blah, 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 and spit out a lot of words in a minute. There's a reason why they wait for the joke. They know I'm going to say a joke. The audience at home's watching. They're going to laugh. I'm going to take that extra 2-second pause. Let the laughter come out before I continue with the speech, right? Listen. Do this a couple of times and do it as much as you want. You did it once with an episode of The Big Bang Theory. Now find an episode of Friends. Now find an episode of HBO's Entourage. I mean, it doesn't matter where it's from. A sitcom has a lot more expression in general. Right. There's a lot more to sort of study. But separate the volume, the audio, separate the visual. Do it a few times. Now, you record a monologue or something you're working on in class. You could have your friend, whoever, literally take the cell phone, just record you doing you. Do that same exercise to your own performance on the cell phone. So now go into the bedroom, lie down, away from everyone, mute it, silent, play it, watch yourself. Are you like this? Are you smiling? Are you angry? Are you curling your eyebrow? What are you doing? And someone who doesn't know the script at all, you should be able to show them that silent movie now, get the volume down, show it to someone else. They should be able to get a rough idea of at least, I think you're angry, or you seem kind of sad and depressed. They're not going to know every word, but they should look and go, I have no idea what emotion's going on here. That's a problem then, fix it. Same exercise on your own. Crank the volume up, blindfold closed, listen to your performance. Discover things you're doing right and things you're doing wrong all on your own. Acting teachers, moms, dads, best friends, brothers, sisters, everybody can tell you, you're doing this and you're doing that. And you don't realize you sway side to side, and you probably don't. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing this, right? Some people say a lot of ums. Those who say have no clue they're saying it until they discover it for themselves. Vice versa, you might record a monologue, play it back, and go, I nailed that. That's exactly what I wanted to do. That was the facial expression. That was the body language. That was the vocals I wanted to convey. Practice this on your own. Do it at home. You're going to discover things. Absolutely. And the things that you don't like, you won't know how to fix it until you even know you're doing it. But it's a good exercise. You can do it anytime you want at your own pace.
I love that. Should they do that for every audition they do? Like when they do a self-tape and then...
I mean, certainly it doesn't hurt. I mean, an audition, even a big theatrical audition, maybe it's 4 or 5 pages. Maybe the whole thing's a minute and a half. So it's not like I'm saying you got to do, watch a 30-minute sitcom or a 1-hour recorded drama every single audition. No, but you do your audition, same type of thing. Watch your own performance. If you look at it and go, I'm not getting anything, what do you think we as an audience or casting director or the director or the producer, anyone else is watching, if you don't see it, how on earth are they going to see it? And like I said, I don't want you going nuts saying, well, I got to re-record it 100 times and spend 30 hours doing this. That's obsessive. But right. If you look at it and go, oh, I could have done whatever. I should have done a little tweak here, a little thing. And you have the time to fix it, fix it. You want to turn in the best audition to get the callback. So go ahead and fix it. If you record it and you look at it and go, yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, I'm happy with what I did. I like what I see. I like what I hear. It's telling a story. I am the character. Fantastic. Send it off.
Nice. I love that advice. That's great advice. Anybody can do this too. And it's an exercise that you can do today,
Yeah. Anyone can do this anyway. You have a TV, you have YouTube, you have the internet, you can find old clips of old shows, and people are like, well, I don't have Netflix or I don't have Disney Plus. I'm like, so what? Go to YouTube and type in some sitcom and find clips. It doesn't have to be literally a 30-minute clip. It might be a 10-minute clip, whatever. It's the same exercise, the same type of thing you're doing. You're separating the visual from the audio.
Next time I'm on a flight, I'm going to do this exercise with the person in the aisle up in front of me, and I'll just watch what they're watching the whole time. It'll be on silence. Can't hear it.
Right. And see if you can at least figure out, I get the gist of what's going on. Like, that's the bad guy. Oh, she's flirting with that guy, but she's shy and quiet. That other girl, she's flirting, but she's like very, very, she's in control. She's the alpha female. She gets what she wants. That person seems scared. Oh, that's because the killer's chasing them through the woods with a knife. Their face is showing fear. well, like I said, without knowing the context of the whole story, just watching without listening and discovering what's going on, and figure out, well, why are they doing what they're doing?
Right.
Why did the character decide? It might be a subtle little thing. Why did the character do that? Why did, what was the point of this? Is there a reason? Why did they pause for such a long time before the next line? And it might be a long pause. You go, there should be a reason. It's not just some random thing. They don't run out of air. Why did they pause? Why is this character very crisp in all their speech? You hear every consonant, make a left, then go 2 blocks, make a right. You hear those hard consonants at the end of the words. Why are they doing that? Why is this character talking way too fast? He's talking way too fast. I can talk really fast too sometimes, and sometimes you don't know what I'm saying, but I'm talking really fast. Why are they doing that? There has to be a reason. It's not just random craziness. Yeah, we're going to have them talk fast just because. No, there has to be a reason.
Right.
Discover these things. Look at it from a different perspective.
And it's important to stand out, obviously, for auditions, because a casting director, they might see 100 audition tapes, but their job, they can only choose one. I mean, that's all they can do, right?
And the point of the audition tape is literally to whet their appetite. If you go to a restaurant and you order an appetizer, the appetizer is not the whole meal. The appetizer is that tastes really good and that was yummy. I can't wait for the entree. Right. When they see a self-tape, you need to win them over. So even at the slate, I'm not saying you don't have to do cartwheels. You don't have to be doing aerial flips and wearing a crazy neon green glow-in-the-dark T-shirt. You have to go nuts. But if you literally, if I hit play on a self-tape and literally I see, hi, my name's Philip and I live in Los Angeles and I'm going to be reading for the role of Bob. Okay, right. Already I'm done. Like, do I even want to see more? I'm like, what? Energy, smile. Even if the character's not happy, get my attention. If I'm looking over here because I'm talking to that person, I'm texting, I'm not really, what? Hi, my name's Philip Marcus. I live in Los Angeles. I'm reading for the role of Bob. Boom, just energy, smile. Get at least from the waist up so they can see what you're looking like. Make sure you're not too close to the camera. Can you imagine a self-tape like this? That'd be really freaky, right? Or some people are like, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? I mean, I've received self-tapes where it bothers me because A, you didn't even look at it. Because if you looked at it, there's no way you're sending me something where your face is chopped off or you're too far away. Or the voice is, I can't hear what. There's no volume whatsoever. Obviously, look at the self-tape. Look at it. If there's a technical glitch, why would you send it to me? Right. And if you just send it to me, that means you didn't look at it. So I'm like, come on, man, help us help you. We're creating opportunities for you. Take advantage of them. Do it right.
What's the craziest thing you saw from a client's self-tape?
One time, one that stood out because just the timing was great. I'm like, how did you choreograph that? But someone did a self-tape behind over their shoulder was a big floor-to-ceiling glass window. It was a sliding glass door, so it was floor-to-ceiling. Outside the window, beautiful backyard, swimming pool, lounge chairs around it, and I literally watched from over the shoulder. I watched a dog chase a squirrel up a tree. and literally my eyes were going here and not here. Right. I don't care about you. I'm watching the dog chase the squirrel up the tree. Sometimes I've had people record in their bedroom where we always have one, that's distracting. I'm not going to send you a self-tape. You're going to be checking that out and trying to read and look at all the pictures. That's annoying. Neutral backdrop. I don't care if it's green, blue, yellow, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's so picky. No one cares. Nothing distracting. I've had people record in their bedroom where they had like a bulletin board behind them, and they had all kinds of things thumbtacked into the bulletin board. And literally, my mind was like, I need to pause and look here because I'm looking at. There's concert tickets. There's a birthday party invitation. There's all kinds of lifestyle, memorabilia from their life growing up, all thumbtacked into a bulletin board. Insanely distracting because I didn't even care about the performance. I'm like checking all that out. I mean, once again, you're hurting yourself. Right. You don't need to spend a fortune. You don't need to build a film studio. You can go on Amazon, get a simple little ring light. Right, so literally looks like this. It's a ring. Hook the ring light to the computer so you have a little light source coming into you. Make sure you have a neutral backdrop. I don't care if you have to put up a sheet or you have a wall that's just a solid white wall or whatever, color. There's no pictures. There's nothing there to look at. Think about, if someone's right outside the bedroom window with the lawnmower, I don't want to see your performance at all. I'm like, are you kidding me? There's a lawnmower going left and right, getting louder, softer, while you're performing. I've had recordings where they're in the room right next door to the washing machine, and you literally hear that like a rhythmic motor of a washing machine that's maybe 5 feet away from where they're recording. Right. Come on, people, think. It's not that difficult.
So what do you advise clients to wear during a self-tape?
But think about what sounds or ambient sounds that are going to, get in the way. Make sure they're not doing that. So all I hear is you. Make sure that is good light. I don't want to see you in darkness and shadows. I'm like, who is that? I can't even make you out because literally it's too dark, So that's why a ring light will just cast some light on your face. But these are like easy little things to do. That's not hard at all. And like I said, and when you're done, absolutely look at the self-tape before you send it off to anyone. Whether it's a self-tape that you're going to send to an agent, maybe you're doing it to get representation. Certainly look at it. Don't just blindly go, I hope this looks good. Because if it doesn't, it's not going to help. And right. If it's, an audition for casting, you send it to your agent. We look at every single tape, whether we want to or not. We have to. Because I can't accuse you of messing up by not looking at the self-tape and sending me something that's a problem. And then me blindly sending that same self-tape to a casting director, being a hypocrite and not looking at it myself, right? I'm saying I can't yell at you for doing something wrong and then I do the same exact thing. So every self-tape, and there's a lot, there's some projects we might have 15 to 20 self-tapes. So we're always morning, noon, night, weekends, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. We're constantly always looking at self-tapes. 90, probably 95, maybe 97% of the time, everything's great. Send it off to casting, all good. Once in a while, we'll find either a technical glitch, like, whoa, there's no volume. There's nothing there. I can't hear you. Something happened. Not often, once in a while, you might make some really drastically wrong acting choices. This is a Nickelodeon sitcom. It's silly. It's goofy. It's food fight in the cafeteria. It's trip and fall into the mud puddle. It's very over the top silliness. And your performance, you look like you're at a funeral for your grandmother. You were very serious and I'm like, it just didn't fit. And it totally made no sense. It wasn't like, oh, that's a creative choice. Okay, I see you wanted to do that instead. Okay, sometimes you do a creative choice that's a little risky, and I'll go, it's a little risky, but it's interesting and it fits and it makes sense. And casting might, like that. They go, oh, okay, that's something different because everyone did this, right. You did that, but have you still fit?
Have you seen the audition for Stranger Things? The one that where I forget the character's name, but he was shirtless. Have you seen that on YouTube?
No, I have to look it up.
Yeah, look that up.
Audition Stranger Things.
Yeah, and the character came in. He's the brother. It's been so long since I've seen that show, I forget. But the brother of 11, I believe, or the friend. Anyways, the older kid. Yeah, and he auditioned shirtless because he's supposed to be this like Southern kind of a redneck.
Southern free spirit. We walk around shirtless in the backyard.
Right. So part of his audition. So if you look it up on YouTube, yeah, it's great. And the casting actually said that's the reason why they selected him.
It was a creative choice that still fit.
Right.
It made sense. It wasn't so out of left field. Go, that has no meaning. Why would you do that? That kind of makes sense. I get that.
Right. And so asking a question about that, what do you advise your clients to wear for self-tapes generally?
People think, oh, I have to get a costume because I'm playing this. No. A little common sense, if it's 1855, it's during the Civil War, and you show up wearing a Lakers jersey, I love Disneyland, Marvel's The Avengers in your T-shirt, we're gonna go. That's kind of distracting. Now, does that mean, I have to go find a Civil War costume? No. 1860s, wear blue jeans, wear like a plain white T-shirt. Done. Simple, easy. If the storyline is supposed to be wintertime and, you and your friends are out on the frozen pond ice skating and you fall through the ice and your friend's about to drown and it's winter. Sell me that it's winter. I know it's summertime and it's hot out there, but put on the jacket, put on, a ski hat, whatever. Convince me, oh, it's winter. Once again, it's not like, oh, I don't own these things, I have to go out and buy them. No, if you have stuff lying around that you can use, fine. For the most part, stay away from anything distracting, like a solid color shirt, fine. Don't have shirts with, logos and letters and words. And you don't want me reading the words in your shirt. You want me looking at your face and watching you perform. But other than that, you don't have to worry about a costume per se. But, sometimes they might say it's a Halloween episode and you're dressed up as a ghost. You don't have to, I got to take a white sheet and cut holes and put it on. And great, now you have a white sheet, I can't see your face. Don't worry about the costume of the ghost. Just wear literally jeans and a t-shirt. Fine. Just to, perform the role. But I said the only time I said it really takes you out is if it's like a time period thing and you go, or, if they say you're supposed to be the super rich kid. You're the snobby rich kid. Your dad owns a 300-foot yacht at the yacht club and everyone wants to be your friend because you have money. And you wearing like a ripped up old t-shirt that was a hand-me-down from your older brother. That's literally has like rips and stains, and nothing about that's making me think you're the rich kid. Once again, I don't mean go to Beverly Hills and buy expensive clothes, but put on a collared shirt, maybe even put on a suit, like a blazer, a suit jacket, and a shirt underneath it. I mean, give us an image that immediately goes, I know who you are.
Right.
Don't overthink it, but do think about it.
Now, Jason has a question here. He was asking with his self-tapes, he's got with his setup, I guess when he's doing like half body or close up, he has a nice neutral background, but when required to do a full body, it obviously the camera's further back and then it shows more of his background, which takes away from the neutral.
That's okay. I mean, sometimes they want a full body, they'll say they want a full body shot, so they want it vertical, feet all the way up to head. And literally it's just you introducing, hi, my name is, and whatever, I live in this city. They're not as worried about that. It's during the performance. And almost all the time the performance, it's either going to be like the waist up or like the neck up. It's going to be a little bit tighter. And that's where you don't want anything distracting.
I've never seen a self-tape where they asked you to film the full body the whole time.
Yeah. Some they'll do it. They just want to see, what do you look like? Are you skinny? Are you chubby? Are you muscular? Are you short? Are you tall? They just want to get a visual. And the whole thing's, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, fine. If there's something behind you, no one's going to worry about that. They're literally just looking at you. But when it's time to come in closer and now you're performing, make sure there's nothing behind you standing out.
Right. Nothing distracting from your performance, obviously.
Yeah.
Perfect. What do you think with clients? I know you've worked with a lot of clients over the years, and those that have really hit it and done well versus those that haven't done so well. Are there any differences that you've noticed between them? Like, is one doing something different than the other?
Not really. I mean, yes. I mean, I wish if it was black and white and I could write a book and sell it and go, if you do these steps, A, B, C, D, you too will be successful. Sometimes, I know it sounds crazy, sometimes there's literally luck. and luck is it's luck. You at the right place, the right time. COVID hit March 2020. We all freaked out. We didn't know what COVID was, right? Everyone ran home, locked themselves in. We were wearing plastic bags over our heads, right? We were freaked out. We couldn't even talk to anyone. So we all learned what Zoom was. We didn't know Zoom before COVID, never heard of it. Nobody knew. Grandma knows how to Zoom today. 6-year-olds know how to Zoom today. It's part of our thing. That was March. Fast forward, only 3 months later, there was no vaccine. We were still locked in the house. This is like in May. And a manager who we know says, I have a 16-year-old girl that lives in Tampa, Florida. I love her. She's great. She's wonderful. You're going to love her. Do you want to meet with her? Literally, we're like, sure. We were bored out of our minds. The industry shut down. We were sitting at home going, oh boy, it's time to day drink. Go, right? Literally, we were getting a little antsy, right? Absolutely. I'd love to Zoom with anyone. I want human contact. I'm losing my mind. We met the 16-year-old girl who lives in Tampa, Florida, a Hispanic, fluent Spanish. She can sing. She can dance. She's really cute, very polite. Everything's please and thank you. She appreciates everything. Her whole entire resume was like 2 school plays. That was it. And some special skills and some training, some on-camera class. That was it. She wasn't SAG. She was as brand new as it gets. This is during COVID when the whole world's sitting around. There isn't even much opportunities. But we're like, well, now's the time to go through everyone's headshots, resumes, make sure all the tools are up. So when this thing passes, eventually it will, we could go full steam ahead. So let's start to do a little spring cleaning right now and clean everything up. We met her on Zoom. We loved her. Immediately, like, yeah, we want to work with you. She, oh my God, this is amazing. She, said, you're sitting at home in Tampa and someone in LA wants to rep you. Great. A whopping 5 days later, audition number 1, she books a series regular role. Audition 1, HBO series called The Gordita Chronicles, which ironically, they filmed all in Puerto Rico. And ironically, even though she lived in Tampa, Florida, both mom and dad are Puerto Rican, and both mom and dad's parents, so both 2 grandparents on mom's, 2 grandparents on dad's side, all live in Puerto Rico. So they went to Puerto Rico to film for like 4 months. They were about 20 minutes away from where the grandparents lived. So she got to spend more time on the weekends seeing her grandparents than she probably did most of her life. Well, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Audition 1, that doesn't happen. But here we go. It did. She was the right person at the right place. They're like, checking off the box. We need a very pretty 16-year-old, fluent Spanish, Puerto Rican, that, she can sing, she can dance. She's the high school, cheerleader type. She's the prom queen type. Oh, like, are you kidding me? She's and she can act. It was the right place, the right time, the right everything. Years ago, we had an actress who was 16, 17, I think at the time, 16, 17. Didn't book, she was with us about 2 years, did not book a single job, nothing. But she did everything we asked. And we always tell everyone, we're not keeping score going, well, it's been 8 months and you've had 4 auditions and 1. Nope. We're ones to say, you need to do A, B, and C. Are you going to do it? And if you do it, we're all great. If you blow us off, you go, yeah. I've been hounding you for 6 months. We need new pictures. These pictures suck. They don't look like you. They're old. They're outdated. You've grown. We need new pictures over and over and over. And months and months and months go by. Yeah, we're going to get frustrated. Then we're going to want to release if you're not doing what we ask you to do. So she reached out. She said, can I come in for a meeting? I'm depressed. I'm in a funk. I'm not feeling good. I haven't booked a thing. And FYI, she's very charactery. She's a real charactery type person. There's no question about it. She knew it too. So thank God she wasn't delusional thinking I'm playing these roles. Like, no, you're not. She knows what type of role she'd be playing. We bring her in. We're talking with her. We said, basically, as a pep talk, you're fine. We're fine with you. You're getting callbacks. You're doing something right. You've been on a veil or you've been pinned for certain projects. So you've been literally narrowed down to like the top 3, top 4. You're doing everything right. It's going to happen. It takes time. We're patient. We're not going anywhere. I promise you, we're not going to a week from now go, get out of here and cut the string and send you flying. When you turn 18, big opportunities for anyone in this industry. Once you're 18 and over, you're an actor, you're an adult. No mom, no dad, no teacher on a set, no work permits, no restrictions about when and how long you can work. You're an adult. 18 and 118, you're in the same boat. Under 18, lots of rules, lots of regulations. So there are times where a 16, 17-year-old could be the most talented and they're just not connecting because there's an 18 and over that can take the job away from them. There's an advantage. Said, stick with it. You're doing everything right. If we thought something was wrong, we'd say, all right, you're not turning in good work. Let's think about who you're studying with. New class, new coach, new whatever. But you're doing everything right. She turned 18. I think it was like 3 or 4 months after she turned 18, she booked a lead role in the movie Grown Ups. So she's literally spent like 2 months out at the lake and the farmhouse with Adam Sandler and Chris Rock and Kevin James and Salma Hayek and this massive list of big name actors. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And it was a funny role and she got to work with these really cool people. It's 2 months, but it was the first job she booked. I mean, she didn't book a commercial. She didn't book a print job. She didn't book a music. She booked nothing. First job was Grown Ups.
Nice.
And she was Rob Schneider's daughter. I'm like, okay, there's everything. Yes, you have to be in class. I don't care if you're 6 years old, if you're 60. You want to be competitive. The easiest example is sports. The kid in junior high plays on the junior high baseball team. Doesn't mean he's going to be on the high school varsity team unless he puts in the work. Mm-hmm. Everyone who's on the high school varsity team Not everyone's going to play sports in college. You got to put in the work and be more competitive and work harder, harder, harder. Now you have college athletes. Not every college athlete's going to the NBA, the NFL, NHL hockey. They're not going pro. But those that put in the work and just, this is what I want. They are focused, laser focused. They're not going to say, I'll eat the ice cream Sunday instead of going to the gym. They're going to the gym. They're doing the homework. They're putting in the effort. Now they're in the pros. Even at the pros, not everyone in the pros goes to the, we just had the baseball all-star game last week. Not every baseball player makes it to the all-star game. Not every player makes it to the Super Bowl and the World Series and the NBA playoffs. It work, 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 work. There are actors that that you're fans of. They've won Oscars. They're making millions, millions, and millions of dollars. And a movie project comes up and they're literally competing against other A-list actors. And you find out, they hired, I'm making this up. This isn't a true story, but they hired Chris Evans to be Captain America. Well, there were other A-list actors, like big name, famous actors that were competing for that same role. They didn't just write it and go, Chris, this is written for you. Right. They had a short list of, 5 or 6 big name actors that have a following that are making tons of money. They're all talented, but they were still competing at that level for that one role. You have to have a thick skin. You have to accept the word no. You're going to hear no a lot. You're not an actor until you hear no. Right. Or you hear, not this time, maybe next time, or I see potential, or maybe the next time. Okay, this is all part of being an actor. You're going to audition for a lot of things. And true, I have seen people book their first job. We signed a little girl. We had an open house, like an ice cream social party at the office like 2 weeks ago. And it's for the younger kids, just come on by, literally make an ice cream sundae, see us. We haven't seen you in a while, fine. And a boy that we've repped for about 2 years, he's 9 years old. Mom said, can we bring his 7-year-old sister? Because she, when he's auditioning, the 7-year-old's like, watch. So she knows everything. Like, she knows what a veil means.
She's watching.
But she's like, I want to do what Big Brother's doing. She's like, really, really, yeah, of course. Yes, it's ice cream, of course. Yes, you can bring siblings. She comes over. She literally, like a crowd of people, she's sort of elbowing. She comes up to me. She goes, you haven't met me yet, but I'm so-and-so's little sister. I'm like, I haven't met you. It's so nice to meet you. Tell me. And this girl's interviewing me as well as she's selling herself to me. Right. I do this and I do that. And when he's auditioning, I learned the lines with him. So I know the line. I'm just in a good way, but I'm dying. I'm like, are you kidding me? This girl just has me crying tears of joy. She has personality to spare. She's cute. She's energetic. And she's just and she's like, I know what it means to be pinned, and I know what it means to be in a veil. And someday I'll be in a veil and I'll get to book jobs. So we talked to Mom. We said, is she like really sick? She goes, yeah, she really wants. I said, yeah, let's. I mean, it was a done deal. Let's do it. This is right before July 4th. So it was like that Thursday before. I think it was July 3rd, Thursday. 2 days ago, she booked a Pizza Hut commercial. It took her a whopping 2 auditions. That's First awesome. Audition, didn't get callback. Second audition, suddenly callback. You're pinned. You're under veil. Well, she just booked and she's screaming on the phone. And her brother's supportive of her, which is lovely when siblings support each other. That's great. But it took a whole 2 auditions.
That's awesome. You say it's luck. It's a matter of luck, but it's also the work that comes
absolutely
to prepare the luck, right? I mean, if she didn't practice brother, if she wasn't as outgoing or friendly, it.
And at the ripe old age of 7, she's like, I want to be in acting classes. I want to learn. I want to know more. I want to be with other kids. She wants to do all this. This isn't mom and dad pushing it all. Because we've seen that side of it too. We're like, nope, we'll nip that in the bud right up front. We're like, nope, mom and dad want this way more than the kid. The kid's like, whatever.
Yeah,
I want to play video games and hang out with my friends. I'm like, that's fine. But we can tell when the kid is like driving the bus and the parents are hanging on for dear life. They're on for the ride, but the kid is steering. This kid, she knows what she wants. Not bad at 7.
Right. And think about going back to your client from Tampa. Obviously it was the right time, the right place, but all the work that she'd put into preparing to even meet you, right? The school, the couple school plays she did, the cheerleading, and all that is a build up to where she got.
And even for the audition, she worked with a coach. She put in a few hours with the coach. Just let's focus. It's only 4 or 5 pages of sides, but she doesn't have a resume, so it's not like oh, we know her. I saw her on that TV show. I already know. They don't know who she is. They have no clue who she is. But when COVID hit, and even to this day, because it self-tapes, I can reach out to casting and still pitch people that are brand new, that have no credits in their resume, and say, you got to trust me. I just signed them last week. They were at a national convention. You're going to be floored. Wait do you find out what you're going to discover? Trust me. And they will, because I'm not wasting my time, or you, the actor. I'm not wasting your time. I'm certainly not wasting casting time. They want a Japanese girl. I can't convince them to see an African-American boy. That's not what they want. If they say a Japanese girl, I can say, well, she's Korean, but she's willing to. They want a Japanese girl. Sometimes, nope, we just need Asian. You can be Filipino, Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese. We just want Asian. Sometimes they just want Hispanic, and I use air quotes. Hispanic's vague. South America, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Cuba, all that's Hispanic. Sometimes they'll be real specific. They're a certain country, a certain must be able to do an authentic British accent. Not like every kid trying to sound like Harry Potter, where it sounds like you're just an American kid doing Harry Potter. Someone that has an authentic, maybe their mom or dad is British, maybe they have dual citizenship, whatever. A legit, authentic, honest to good British accent. Maybe if I'm lucky, I have one person that fits that role. Maybe I have nobody. So it's that combination of things as well. But in this case, she worked with a coach. She knew the character. She read it. She's like, I can play this character. I'm like, I know. That's why I submitted you. But you absolutely can play this character. I mean, there's a lot of overlap of you as a person and what this character is. It's not like, Meryl Streep doing a foreign accent in 1945. It's not some big old acting stretch. It's more or less you being you, which fit. It was a good fit. I'm like, she's reading the script. She's like, oh, wow, this is me. I'm like, yeah, sell it now. Sell it to them. Add your own little quirks. Add your own little whatever. You're not rewriting the script, but little things you do with your voice, little things you do with your facial expressions, little movements with your body that make that character you. It's the little things that casting notice. They go, that's interesting. And once again, it's just to whet their appetite. You got to realize that they look at a minute and a half tape, and they go, you're brilliant, whoever that actor is. You check off the boxes. You're exactly what we want. They know nothing about you. They don't know you yet. So the callback's even more important. You whet their appetite, but they get to the callback, and it turns out you're really shy and quiet. You're like, hi. Uh-oh. Sometimes they met not only just kids. This isn't a kid thing. This could well be adults in their 20s. They meet the actor on Zoom, and the actor's in, part of my French, but he's not a nice person. He's a big, You come across as mean and cursing and yelling and condescending, and let them talk and ask a question. Listen. Give them what they want. You can't come on there and go, I just woke up. How you doing? Oh, that's great. That's really going to impress them. Always have a bottle of water. It happens to everybody. You're talking, and also, I got a frog in my throat. Have water next to you. No one's going to go, oh my God, he drank water. Get rid of him. No. Right. There's a reason they're meeting you in Zoom. They like what they saw. They're rooting for you. They're not wasting their time. They don't have time to waste. They want to get to know you. What's your personality? Are you someone that I want to spend time with for weeks and weeks or months and months on a set? Are you a nice person? Are you polite? Are you fun and outgoing? Are you boring? Are you shy? They want to know, who are you? They might, whatever your age is, they might ask you random questions. Tell me some good TV shows you watched lately. Don't go, I don't watch TV. You're an actor, think about, what type of music do you like to do? Other than acting, what are some of your hobbies and interests? You better be prepared to answer general type questions. So number one, they want to know, who are you? Your personality. Are you someone I want to hang out with on a set for a long period of time? Some people know. Their first impression is like, oh, wow, no thanks. Number one. Number two, can you take direction? Duh, it seems kind of cliche, but if I say, the line is, hey, Mom, what's for breakfast? That's my line. I'm the actor. Hey, Mom, what's for breakfast? And they go, okay, that was good. Do that again. I want you to slow it down a little bit slow and stretch out the word. Hey, Mom, what's for breakfast? No, Philip, slow it down, stretch it out. Take a little pause, stretch it out, slow it. Oh, I got this. Hey, Mom, what's for breakfast? Okay, Philip, it's been nice seeing you. Goodbye now. Right? Listen, if they give you a crazy note, they go, hey, Mom, what's for breakfast? Oh, that was good. You know what? Can you do it the way Charlie Chaplin did it in the 1923 film, blah, blah, blah? And you go, don't panic. Don't panic. Go, I've never seen that film. Can you give me some more info? Yeah, they're not trying to trick you, but sometimes they might give you a note. We go, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Don't fake it because you're not going to be right. Much better say, I never saw that movie. I don't know that actor. What do you want me to? Oh, okay. Well, he's very crisp in his speech. So I want to hear every single syllable, like overdo it. Okay. Hey, Mom, what is for breakfast? Okay. You might think this is weird. Why am I doing this? Guess what? Doesn't matter what you're thinking. They're testing you. They want to know, can you listen? Can you take direction? Are you locked into, I can only do it my way? Forget the director. They don't know what they're doing. Nobody wants an actor on the set that won't listen to the director. There are times on set you might be fortunate enough the director gives you a moment to improvise, or you're doing a scene, you go, oh, I have an idea. I want to try. Can I try it this way? Sometimes the director will say, yeah, let's do it once the way I want to do it as the director. Let's do that. Now you get a freebie. Now do it the way you. Sometimes your version's better. Sometimes the director's like, I see what you did, but we're going to stick with what I did. He's the director. He's the boss. She's in charge of the set. But if you're locked in that I can only say, hey, Mom, what's for breakfast? My way over and over and over. You're not going further. That's the end of that callback. Literally, they're going to go on to the next person. So they want to know who you are, personality. They want to know, can you take direction? That's literally what the Zoom callback's about. If it's a TV series, and they're putting a cast together where it's literally the series regulars, it's Friends. We got 6 actors, 3 guys, 3 girls. Boy, that chemistry is important. So they've done their callbacks on Zoom. Now they might come back and do a second callback, but now they do what they call a chemistry read. So they're putting, say, it's, a family. It's mom, dad, son, daughter. They might have 3 or 4 actors for each role. So on Zoom right now, they're like, all right, dad number 1, mom number 1, son number 1, do the scene. Everyone does their dialogue. They do the scene. The thing I really like dad number 1. All right, dad number 1, you stay. Let's bring in mom number 2 and keep son number 1. Okay, man, that's really good. He's consistent. I love this. We're keeping dad number 1. Let's try mom number 3 and let's try a different son. They're mixing. They're trying to figure out what was the best thing. They literally call it a chemistry read. But even today, after COVID, all the 5 years later, whatever, it's still all on Zoom. So I said, like that girl that lived in Tampa, Florida, she didn't physically meet the cast members, so she walked on set in Puerto Rico. Hi, I'm your mom. Hi, I'm your dad. Hi, I'm your younger sister. The 4 of us are a family. And
which was unheard of before Zoom.
Kind of unheard of. And it was smart enough, at least, Eva Longoria from Desperate Housewives was the producer of the show, and she directed the pilot. So she said, before we film anything, the 4 of you are going to spend the next 3 days together as a family. You're going to have breakfast. You're going to have lunch. You're going to have dinner. You're going to go to the beach. You're going to go bowling, whatever activity she had. Literally, they had 3 days where they spent the whole thing together as a family to really feel each other out, to get to know each other, which is a smart idea. They had time to do that. They said, we're not going to go, nice to meet you, and we're rolling. What? That's my dad. No, they had time to figure it out so they could, get to know each other. But everything was on Zoom. The chemistry read, the callback, and then the self-tape to begin with. Their theatrical projects, it's just a self-tape. It's a Zoom callback, and ta-da, you booked the job. We'll see you on set. Yay, I recommend everyone, if you don't already, get a passport. There's lots and lots and lots and lots of international traveling. I mean, more so than ever before. It's because of streaming. When we had a show on NBC, CBS, American TV networks, they would go to Burbank, Warner Brothers, Disney. They'd go in the back lot, put up some posters or, artwork behind, go, look, we're in France. You can tell because that sign's written in French. And everyone's like, it looks like a studio lot in Burbank. Now you have Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Hulu. All the streaming services are truly worldwide audiences. So when you have Emily in Paris, cha-cha, we're filming it all in Paris, France. Right. When you have NCIS, Sydney, Australia, whoa, they're actually filming it all in Sydney. There's a Netflix series called Exo Kitty that I have a girl. She's like in her early 20s now, but I have an actress that's on Exo Kitty. She lives in LA, but the whole series is filmed in Seoul, South Korea. And she's literally in Seoul right now filming season 3.
Nice.
When she was back in LA, she filmed Ironheart, the Marvel series that just premiered about a month ago. So, I mean, it's amazing. She has 2 series going on, but one of them she filmed in Atlanta. Ironheart was all filmed in Atlanta. Exo Kitty's filmed in Seoul, South Korea. Life of an actor. So, A, if you don't have a passport, get it. B, if you already do have a passport, make sure you add it on the resume. You can put it under special skills, even though by definition it's not a special skill, but that's the best place to list it. And I tell everyone, put passport as the very first thing, even before fluent Spanish, before dancing, karate, black belt, all that. Put passport, because that thing pops up more than any other skill set. Like 4 or 5 times a week, every single week, something's coming across. Filming in London, Toronto, Mexico City, Paris, Rome, New Zealand, Sydney, Tokyo. They're filming all over the world, which is awesome because production pays for everything. So it's truly a working vacation, right? They get everything's covered. How sweet, they cover airfare, hotel, car service to the airport to the hotel, car service from the hotel to the set. They give you per diem, so you have a little spending money to cover meals when you're not on set, being fed, or maybe it's Saturday, Sunday you're not filming, but you're still in that location. You're getting per diem to cover your meals. Everything's basically covered, and then you work the job and you're getting paid for the job. So brag, and if you have a passport, put it on skills at the beginning so casting can see that right up front.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Great advice. I mean, obviously, people, it's good to prepare and plan so that you do get lucky, right? And that's part of it. And passports don't take a long time, but they do take a little bit of time. Could you imagine if somebody booked a role and says they have to fly internationally, and then now they're rushing to try to get a passport?
Well, that's why when casting will email us the breakdown, and for those that don't know, the breakdown is it's the who, what, when, where of the project. So they're sending us an email that's telling us it's a movie. Where does it shoot? When does it shoot? Is it SAG and union? Is it non-union? What are the character roles that we're submitting on? They tell us everything right up front. If they're telling us that it's filming not in the US, wherever, that's their way of also telling us as agents, don't waste their time submitting someone that has no passport or an invalid passport expired, because this thing films next Tuesday. You're on a plane on Monday, filming on Tuesday. If you don't have that passport in hand, you could literally hold it up and show it. They don't want to, there's not enough time. If they tell us, this doesn't film till December, January, February, you're like, we might be able to speed things up. All right, we might take a little gamble there. It's worth it. Let's try it. But they want to make sure that they see the resume, they see passport, and they can jump right in.
Yeah. And you can get your passport next day, because I've done that before.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it.
Expedite. Yeah, it costs money. They speed it up, but they can do it. Where's everyone from today? Is it Australia, New Zealand?
Yeah, so people are doing shout outs. Yeah, they're from all over. We have England, Australia, of course, US as well.
Okay.
So
they are all okay.
Canada's in the house as well. Welcome,
and then
everyone.
One other thing that all of you should do, and get on the internet and look it up if you haven't already, find out the universities and colleges that are within a reasonable distance of where you live. And reasonable is up to you. I don't want you getting in the car and driving 20 hours cross country for a student film that doesn't pay. But an hour, 2 hours, whatever your radius you feel comfortable. Get on the internet, find out what are the colleges, do they have a film school? If they do, who do you get in touch with? Because a lot of people don't realize that when college students are film school majors, they're learning everything behind the camera. So they're learning editing, cinematography, lighting, wardrobe, makeup, all the pieces of the puzzle behind the camera. They're not the actors in front of the camera. Student films are 5 to 7 minutes long. They usually go 7, maybe 10 days, and then they do the next and the next and the next. So one college semester, they could easily do 8 or 9, maybe 10 student films, cranking them out really fast. You as the actor, find out through there, find out who do I get in touch with? Find out, can I email you a headshot and resume? Record a monologue, a dramatic monologue, a comedic monologue at home. They have the tools. Send it to them, say, here's materials. Sometimes they might say, hey, we're doing an open call, maybe, it's worth asking. We're doing an open call next Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. Just show up at this address, bring a hard copy headshot and resume. You get to connect with them. Sometimes they don't do an open call, but they'll say, no, email me your materials. We'll keep you on file. Point being is, you stick with it and stay patient, but follow through. You can do student films. You get the experience. You're actually doing it. You're not talking about I'm on the set, I'm doing it. The difference between a student film and Steven Spielberg is that Steven gets $100 million to play with. Student film and Steven Spielberg have actors, a director, writers, editor, music, costumes, lighting. It's a film. You do the student film, you get the experience, you certainly add the credit on the resume. No question about it. Keep in touch with them. When they're done editing, they should be able to email you a link of the film so you can watch it. And as I said, it's like 5 to 7 minutes. You watch the student film, sometimes you'll watch it and go, I'm okay. It's not that I'm bad. I didn't have much to do. I was one of 10 people in a party scene, and we're literally all on the dance floor, we're dancing, and I had a couple of random lines of dialogue. But so did 5 other people. So there's nothing to showcase me to brag about and visually in the scene. So be it. You have the credit and the resume done. Sometimes you do a student film and maybe there's 30 seconds or a minute where it's a dialogue scene. It's you and one other character. And whatever's going on, whether I'm supposed to love you, hate you, you made me laugh, you made me cry, there's something there that's, check this out, right? You want to brag about. Well, now you have that link of that film. You can send it to an agent or a manager and say, I recently did this student film at, ABC University. Here's the link. Cue it up to 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Tell me what you think. People send it to me all the time. Clients send it to me. People that I've never met before say, I'm looking for rep. I recently did the student film. They'll say, sure, you told me, that's great. You told me exactly where to go. I click on it. I cue it up to 2 minutes and 20 seconds, wherever it starts, the scene. I watch it. I'm like, okay. There have been times I've taken the same thing. I've taken the student films from clients, sent it to casting saying, check this out. To casting, cue it up to 220. What do you think? They, 5 minutes later, email back there. Yeah, I see what you say. Yeah, let's set them up for the project I submitted that's paying. Yesterday, a nice role in a TV show or a movie, but that student film, that little piece of footage actually helped sell and got you over the hump to get the audition. So definitely check out the colleges, universities from close to where you live. Keep in touch with them. Sometimes you might actually get someone on the phone. The dean is not the dean. The professor is in charge of the student film program. His office hours are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 to 5. Okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You call him at like 4:05. Get him on the phone. You might get him on the phone and he says, "Oh, we're doing a film right now. It's all about senior citizens. So we're looking for actors that are like 65 and over. There's nothing for your category now. Okay, when should I check back? Oh, I don't know. How about next week? Okay, when's a good time? I mean, follow through. Don't be an ass, but politely follow through. Follow through. He says, finally gets to you. All right, call me next Friday. I'm here from 4 to 5. Make notes so you know exactly who you spoke to. Next week, you call at 4. I promise you, he's not going to know you. He's not going to remember you. She's going to go, who is this? Remind them in a nice way. Hey, hey, Professor Smith, I spoke to you last week. I'm an actress. I talked to you about student films. You told me you were doing a film about senior citizens. I hope it turned out great. But you told me I should check back with you on Friday. And here I am. I'm back. You got to be persistent. You got to, it's like robocalls when people are trying to sell you stuff on the telephone, right? You're selling yourself. Eventually, something's going to come up in that college semester. There's a role you're right for. The odds are definitely in your favor, whether it's a 25-year-old and a 30-year-old, whether it's under 18, it's a 14-year-old kid in a high school, junior high, whatever. Something will come up because there's so many films in the one semester. But you got to stick with it. Stick and make notes and make them feel good. Don't make them try to guess, like, who are you and what? Volunteer it. Hi, Miss, hi, Professor Smith. It's me, Philip. You don't remember me, but I spoke to you last Tuesday. And you told me to call you Friday between 4 and 5. And here I am. And remember, I sent you my headshot and resume, and I sent you that reel. I had a monologue. And, oh, you didn't get it? Oh, can I send it to you again? Oh, you did get it. Okay, great. Is there a project coming up? I really would love to do a student film. The university has a great reputation, and it'd be such a great experience for me. What can I do to audition for you? Sell yourself, and be confident, You can't, no one else can sell you better than you can sell you, right? You know what your qualities are, whether it's you're good with comedy, you're good with drama, you're good with this, you have a skill set. Let them know all these things. I've been dancing since I'm 3 years old. I'm like a classically trained ballerina. Oh, I didn't mention I'm fluent Spanish. Blah 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 blah. Oh, you are fluent. Aha, you're fluent Spanish. If there's a skill that might get you that opportunity, sell yourself. But definitely look into student films because it's a really good opportunity across the board.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the big money, but it's the path
No,
to
the experience, the credit, and getting some footage.
right.
That's
Absolutely.
the value.
Well, I love that. Well, we are running out of time today. We appreciate all your advice. You gave us a lot of good homework assignments.
Yeah, no
Every,
problem.
everybody watching today
And
should
I
be
didn't cough that much either. I'm impressed. I wasn't choking. I thought I was gonna be choking the whole time, but
and you didn't die on us during the stream, so
I
that's
didn't
great.
talk.
I love that. Well, Philip, I hope you get some rest this weekend. I do appreciate you joining us bright and early on a Saturday morning for you.
No, thank you. No, I appreciate it. I wish you all the best of luck, everyone out there.
It's
It's
great
a
seeing you.
wild industry, but for those who have passion for it, it's the coolest thing in the world.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love it. I know you love it. I know that's why you're the hardest working agent in Hollywood. So
No, thank you.
I've given you that title if you haven't noticed yet.
I
But
like it. I'll take it. Sounds good.
well, I appreciate it. Have a great weekend. It was good seeing you, and hopefully I'll see you soon. But get better. I wish you
Sounds
well.
good. Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate it. All right.
Good
Bye,
seeing you.
everyone. Thank you.
Bye, guys.